Giants fans, welcome into Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and you guys know the drill. Get down in the comments and predict the score for this Sunday's matchup of the Giants versus the Rams. The first correct score prediction, I will personally Venmo you $25. No editing comments, no double comments, no two score predictions. I got my producer right here, Sam Brown. He's going to be checking out the comments, making sure no crazy stuff goes on. But go down in the comments and get your score predictions in. And if you want to qualify, you have to be a subscriber. So step 1, subscribe. Step 2, get down in the comments and predict the score for this Sunday's game. You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and today's injury report and preview is brought to you by our friends Manscaped. Head to manscaped.com/chat and use the promo code CHAT to get 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products in the world. Let's take a look now at the injury report that came out earlier this Thursday. And kind of obviously, Saquon Barkley and Kenny Golladay, they did not participate in Thursday's practice. They haven't participated in any practice so far this week, and I do not expect them to play. And neither will Darius Williams for some reason, even though he's torn his ACL and has been marked as out for the year. The Giants continue to put him on the injury report. But the big news with these guys on screen, Barkley, Golladay, unfortunately, probably not going to suit up this Sunday. The next guys on this injury report, these were limited participants in Thursday practice, which can be looked at as a good thing because Daniel Jones and Andrew Thomas, they didn't really practice on Wednesday, and the fact that they're now limited participants is a good thing. Jones, he's dealing with that concussion. Kadarius Toney, he's dealing with the ankle injury that he suffered versus Dallas last week, which he played through. I expect him to be out there. The big news, Shepard, he will be back with the New York Giants this week after missing the prior 2 games dealing with that hamstring injury. Darius Slayton and Andrew Thomas, I expect them to be back as well. Big things for me on that, Daniel Jones. He is supposed to be on track, according to Joe Judge, which is crazy to believe considering the hit he took last week. But I do think he'll be out there, and that's everything that I'm hearing. He's expected to play, which is a good thing for the Giants, but I would not rush Jones. Guys, also, more limited participants at Giants practice. Matt Skura, the center, he's dealing with that knee injury. Bredeson, he's also dealing with that same hand injury that's held him out of the past couple games. Logan Ryan, he's dealing with a hip injury, and Jabrill Peppers, he's dealing with the hamstring injury that held him out of last week's game versus the Cowboys. I expect Ryan and Peppers to be out there, but on Skura and Bredeson, that is to be determined. So if more news comes out about that, we will make sure to update you guys. But on Daniel Jones, I want to know what you guys have to say about this, because I'm kind of stuck in the middle. I want Daniel Jones to play because it gives the Giants the best chance to win. But I also want to hold him out because concussions are nothing to play about. Anytime you're dealing with a head injury, you want to take it slow and make sure that player is 100% ready to go. But go down in the comments and let me know what you guys have to say. If you think Daniel Jones should play this week, go down in the comments and type Y. Or if you think they should hold him out, go down in the comments and type N. We're going to get into some keys to victory for this week's game versus the Los Angeles Rams. And I know every key should be about the defense, so we're going to just hit it off right here. This is where the Giants' defense ranks through the first 5 weeks of the NFL season. And man, it's ugly. I mean, just look at the stats on screen. Giving up over 400 yards per game, 337 through the air, almost 140 on the ground, giving up almost 28 points per game. And that last one, that's the one that hurts the most for me, sacks. Only 8, which is 31st in the NFL. Simply put, if the Giants want to have a chance to compete this week versus the LA Rams, the defense from 2020 needs to show up. Guys like Leonard Williams, Azeez Ojulari, Logan Ryan, James Bradberry, and Adoree Jackson. You guys need to show up because we're paying you to show up, and you just haven't so far this year. If you want the Giants to win, you guys need to show up. And before I get into any more of my keys to victory, I've got 5 that we'll quickly get to. I want to know what you guys have to hear. The show, it's not all about me. It's actually more about you guys than you really understand. So get down in the comment and let me know, what is your biggest key to victory this week against the LA Rams? Key number 1 for me, it's simple. Get pressure with 4. That's something that the Giants have not been able to do so all season long. Even when they blitz, they haven't been able to get pressure. But this week, that is going to be imperative because a guy like Matt Stafford is going to be able to absolutely slice and dice you if you let him sit back there in a clean pocket. The stats that you see on screen right now, right below me, it's embarrassing to say I'm a Giants fan, and this is what our defense is putting out. Our pressure rate, it's 30th in the NFL, meaning how often we get pressure. How often we get sacks rate, 28th in the NFL. And how often we blitz. This is absolutely mind-blowing for the previous two stats. We blitzed the 8th most in the NFL, and we are 28th in sack rate. Unbelievable. That's why our DBs are having tough times covering. I mean, guys like Williams and Azeez Ojulari need to be great this Sunday if the Giants want to hang around with the Los Angeles Rams and prevent a blowout. It's time for Williams to earn that massive contract that he got this offseason. I know he had quotes this week and he went on Instagram posts saying his game has way more to do with sacks, but as a defensive lineman, and when you're paid at the salary he's paid out, you have to produce and get your hands on the quarterback. Azeez Ojulari, you need to show up. The first 3 games of the season, you got 3 sacks. Since then, only 2 QB pressures. Just not acceptable. If the Giants want to win, Azeez Ojulari and Leonard Williams, they need to show up for this Giants defense. This video is made possible by our proud friends, Manscaped. Head over to manscaped.com and use the promo code CHAT to get 20% off and free shipping on the best men's grooming products in the world. The brand new Lawnmower 4.0, a much improved product than the Lawnmower 3.0. A longer battery life, 8 hours, 4 interchangeable blades, and it is also waterproof. So if you want to get frisky in the shower and do a little manscaping in the shower, you're going to be able to. And there's a light on the end of the tunnel so you can get into those hard to reach spots. If you haven't been producing like you should be in the bedroom, trust me, this tool will help you out, and your girl and anybody that you hang around with will thank you. So do this for you and your family and your girlfriend. Just go to manscaped.com/chat and use the promo code chat to get 20% off and free shipping. Key number 2. This should have been number 1 because this guy is probably the best defensive football player in the NFL. Don't let Aaron Donald wreck the game, because if you do, this game will be over before you know it. Aaron Donald, I don't know how many defensive MVPs he won. I think it's 3 at this point. It could be more by the time he retires. But these are the stats that he's put on through the 2021 NFL season. 24 tackles, 5 tackles for losses, 3 sacks, and 1 forced fumble. Those are numbers that Leonard Williams should be put up because they're paid almost the same. But Donald, he is just an absolute specimen. And the Giants' offensive line, they're up for a tall task. It's going to be tough to stop guys like Aaron Donald. You're going to have to double team him. He moves all over the defensive line. He can blitz from the edge. He can bring pressure from the inside. He is someone that you're absolutely going to have to game plan for. So these guys on screen, they're going to have to step up. And I hope Andrew Thomas is going to be able to play after not playing last week versus the Cowboys. Key number 3. Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard, they need to ball out. Get them the ball as early as possible. Because one of the weakest points of this Rams defense is their pass defense. They are ranked 23rd in the most passing yards allowed. Whether it's Daniel Jones or Nick Glennon, as I've been calling him the past week, is under center, take shots downfield. When you're the less talented team heading into a game like the Giants are versus the Rams, you need to take chances. And when you have guys like Toney, Shepard, and Slayton, who will be back this week, you need to take shots downfield, and that's what I want to see the Giants do. Get Toney, Shepard, and Slayton involved and take shots down the field, because this Los Angeles Rams defensive backfield is not as good as it is on paper. But what do you guys have to say about this one? With Sterling Shepard coming back after missing the prior 2 games, who's going to have a bigger game? If you think it's going to be Toney, go down in the comments and type T. Or if you think it's going to be Shep, go down in the comments and type S. Guys, help me out. I've been looking at the analytics, and over 80% of you guys that are watching these videos are unsubscribed, which is crazy to me because in the last 28 days, we've gained over 800 subscribers, and we just crossed over the 2.3K milestone, and I'm trying to get to 2.5K and 3K as soon as possible. So guys, help me out. We're covering the Giants all year long. News, rumors, trade rumors, game previews, game recaps, everything a Giants fan would want. So if you want to stay up to date on everything surrounding the New York Giants, go down and hit that big red button. Key number 4. We need 2020 James Bradberry to show up, because the corner that's been playing for the Giants this year He's not the same guy that was playing for them last year. Last year, he was one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL, and this year, he's one of the worst cornerbacks in the NFL. I mean, you see the stats on screen right here. When targeted, he's giving up a 74% completion percentage, already over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, more touchdowns than he gave up all of last season. He does have 3 pass breakups and 2 interceptions, but he has been being targeted by defenses more, and he's being beat. This week, he's up for a tall task. He's going to be asked to cover Cooper Kupp, one of the best receivers in the NFL so far this season. He's been targeted 56 times, 37 grabs, 5 tutties, and over 500 yards. James Bradberry, we need you to lock up Cooper Kupp if the Giants want to hang around this Sunday versus the Los Angeles Rams. Key number 5, and one of my biggest ones. It is the 5th one, but that doesn't mean it's the least important. The Giants, they need to limit the big plays on defense. This Los Angeles Rams offense is a big play offense. They have weapons all over the field, and you don't want to get beat by Deshaun Jackson because we've seen that too many times as Giants fans. This Rams offense ranks 4th in explosive plays in the NFL. And if you're wondering what that means rushes of over 10 yards and passing plays of over 20 yards. Matthew Stafford, he can kill you if you give him time in the pocket, and he will attack downfield like he has been doing all year. He's been playing like an MVP candidate. No one can take that away from him. This ain't the same Detroit Lions Matthew Stafford. Him and Sean McVay are a dynamic duo. 12 touchdowns, already over 1,500 yards, almost completing 70% of his passes, and only 3 interceptions. Take away the big play, and you can have a chance to win this ball game. Quickly, I'll recap the 5 keys of the game. Get pressure with 4. You can't let Stafford sit back there all day. Don't let Aaron Donald wreck the game because he can easily do that. Toney, Shep, get him the ball. Let him be great. They are playmakers. 2020 James Bradberry, show up because you need to guard Cooper Kupp, one of the best receivers and most productive receivers in the NFL, and limit the big plays. I don't want to see Deshaun Jackson high-stepping into the end zone. I have too many nightmares already about that. But if you guys want to stay up to date on Twitter as well as here at Giants Now on YouTube, give me a follow at @MarshallGreen_. I'm trying to up my Twitter clout, and I'll do this, guys, for you. The next 10 people to follow me on Twitter, I will personally give you a shout out on Twitter. I'll get your picture, your @ on screen, and I will thank you personally. So, guys, hit me up and give me a follow on Twitter.